Kills you to see that I'm doing better. Made it out alive, now I'm going forever. Lost count all the ways you got me down. Honest, I could say that I'm doing better. Oh, that look on your face when you hear what I say. I'll speak up so you can hear me. I'll speak up 'cause it's my life. I'll speak up, I'll make this easy 'cause it's who I am, that's right. 'Cause it's who I am. Karma's coming around and it feels so good. Stepping up to me, oh, I wish you would. Step up to me. Sick and tired of the pain and the games you played on me. Stealing back my air, it's time to breathe. I'll speak up so you can hear me. I'll speak up 'cause it's my life. I'll speak up, I'll make this easy 'cause it's who I am, that's right. 'Cause it's who I am. I'll speak up. I'll speak up. I'll speak up. Kills you to see that I'm doing better. Made it out alive, now I'm going forever. Sick and tired of the pain and the games you played on me. Stealing back my air, it's time to breathe. I'll speak up so you can hear me. I'll speak up 'cause it's my life. I'll speak up, I'll make this easy 'cause it's who I am, that's right. 'Cause it's who I am, that's right. I'll speak up, I'll make you see. I'll speak up, I'll make you see. I'll speak up, I'll speak up, speak up.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for joining tonight, and I pray that you all have reached us in good spirits. Tonight, before we get started, just by a quick show of hands, I'd like to know how many of you all think that your words have power? Okay, I see some hands. So, I mean, that's very true. Our words do have power. And the theme of tonight is Sema, which is a Swahili word for speak. And the reason why we're focusing on this, you all, is because in these times that we live in today, it is so important that we know the power that our words have and really the power that they carry. With everything going on, social injustice and different types of discrimination, it's really important to let the people around you know where your stance is. And I know from the protests recently and just well known, like the term silence is violence, that really holds a lot of truth. Your words do have power. And when you don't use them in a positive way, or you're not speaking out against things that are wrong, it actually is it can be harmful. So I say all that to say that tonight we really want to focus on how important it is to be able to use your voice to make the changes in the community that you want to see. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker of tonight, which will be Miss Jennifer Lyons of Onyx Village. And she's going to be doing the ancestral libation. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, an ancestral libation is usually preceding most events in the African-American community. And what that usually does is we are inviting the ancestors and spirits into the event and just really bringing in the good vibes. So just feel free to just enjoy this experience if it's new for you. And if you're used to this, then you should already know what's up. So thank you again for joining, everybody, and I hope you enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm Tandiway Jennifer Lyons of East Palo Alto, California. And I thank each and every one of you that has joined us today. And I asked you to bow your heads for a little prayer, asking the ancestors. First, let me ask permission from the elders on this feed. If there are, we're asking permission to do this. That's protocol. Okay, I believe they said yes. So thank you, seniors. So now I would like to bow our heads and invite the ancestors in. Thank each and everyone that's on this panel. Thank everyone that planned this event. And we like to welcome and invite the ancestors here to hold us and carry us as they've been doing into this space, into this realm. So without further ado, I am going to lift up our ancestors from East Palo Alto and East Menlo Park. And I say Ashe, you could say Amen if you would like to, but each time I call a name, I'll pour water and then I will say Ashe. So Queen Mother, Barbara Mouton, Mother, first mayor of one of the initial administrators of Nairobi Day School, Ashe.
Ashe.
Then we go to Barbara Edgerton, Mother, activist, Ashe.
Ashe.
Jerry Oakley, Mother, activist, horticulturalist, Ashe.
Ashe.
We go to Aretha Lawrence, Mother, activist, horticulturalist, Ashe.
Ashe.
We go to Queen Mother Faye Knox, Mother, musician, educator, community servant, Ashe.
Ashe.
We go to Big Daddy Lloyd Hudson, father, community activist, entrepreneur, friend, Ashe.
Ashe.
We go to Queen Mother Gertrude Wilkes, Mother, joint founder of Nairobi Day School, Ashe.
Ashe.
Mrs. Puckett, Mother, community supporter, Ashe.
Ashe.
Dorothy Mitchell, Mother, community supporter, Ashe.
Ashe.
Mavis Knox, Mother, educator, community activist, Ashe.
Ashe.
We go to Wilma Johnson, Mother, community activist, Ashe.
Ashe.
Willie Gray, Mother, community activist, East Palo Alto Municipal Council, Ashe.
Ashe.
We go to Mr. and Mrs. Bowser, parents and community activists and supporters, Ashe.
Ashe.
We go to Mr. Joseph Goodwill, father, community activist, Bales bondsman, Ashe.
Ashe.
Patrick Brock, father, community activist, entrepreneur, bluesman, Ashe.
Ashe.
Linda Connolly, mother and teacher, Ashe.
Ashe.
Queen Mother Onetta Harris, mother, educator, community activist, Ashe.
Ashe.
We go to Mr. Burley, father, school board member, community activist and supporter, Ashe.
Ashe.
Mrs. Burnfield, mother, community activist, Ashe.
Ashe.
Mrs. Marie Whitley, mother, community supporter, Ashe.
Ashe.
Mrs. Yarbrough, community activist, Ashe.
Ashe.
Well, we know that this isn't all of the ancestors from East Palo Alto and East Menlo Park, but this is many of them. And all that I didn't name, I still say Ashe.
Ashe.
We need to know where we come from. We need to know who we are. We need to know that we don't have to go out of East Palo Alto to find greatness. It's right here. We need to know that our ancestors are still here and they have paved the way for us. So we honor them every chance that we get. We honor them. We say their names. We hold them up in high esteem. Always, always remember where you came from and you remember who paved the way for you. Ashe. Blessings,
Ashe.
everybody. Now I introduce my son and OVC.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to just attend this great and historic event. My name is Jules, my mom, Jennifer, and we are the co-founders of Onyx Village Connection. It's a mobile outreach organization that collects donated food from local cafes, restaurants, and bakeries, and we distribute the food out to the community in East Palo Alto and surrounding cities. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. Blessings.
And thank you all for all the work that you do in our community and for our families. It's like truly appreciated. And thank you again, Ms. Lyons, for not only inviting in the spirits of the ancestors, but also reminding us the importance of why we need to honor our ancestors. I think so often we forget that they're real people and their spirits live on forever. And as Ms. Lyons said, they paved the way for us. So thank you again for reminding us how important that is.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Next up for you all, we actually have a couple treats. We have 2 videos for you all. The very first is going to be how our Menlo-Atherton students show us how their words have power. And we're going to see some clips from local protests and show you really what it means to speak out and why our words are important. Hope you all enjoy.
This song right here is a glimpse of my community. See, we were taught that the American dream is the ultimate sign of liberty. But we can't reach that dream because it's a fallacy.
Overrated, disgracing, family displacement, familiar faces. It's so sad that they don't own those faces. Makes me wanna holler the way they do my life.
Makes me wanna holler.
Makes me wanna holler, throw up both my hands. Neighbors feuding, ignorance, politics they spewing. Keep them quiet, they're concluding, but they forget to recognize our human. Oh, how they all keep us silent. But hiding truth, it just keeps them violent. Oh, this ain't living. No, this ain't living.
Are we really living?
No, this ain't living. This ain't living. This ain't living. We can just see each other's humanity, then we could achieve equity. No, this ain't living.
This can't be living.
No.
Hey, hold on. Who knew that my brother Jakim could flow like that? Wait a minute. We got to give a little applause for my brother right there. I did not know my man's had it in him like that. Okay, brother Jakim. And all the other Menlo-Atherton students at that end. I mean, this is an amazing video, and for everybody that just witnessed that, that just goes to show how much power, how powerful our words are. And when you're in unity with your community, it just it's a powerful thing to see. So I thank everyone who was able to attend these protests and show what you stand for with your voice and with your presence. So next we have for you, we have our BSU recruitment video. And oh, there we go. Yeah, no more words for me.
Yeah, yeah. Can I give it to you on that real stuff? I've been in the space rolling with some tough love. On a hot vibe rolling with the most high. Turbulence is the pressure fade to fly high. Hang it up, gonna fly high. Dream a little bigger, think a little better. Spin a little wiser, history in the making. Yeah, it's one time, y'all let them know who made the king. Little red TV, precious friends that we know. I see us and she's a top without a show. Mama and auntie brought the sunshine from the church to the club. They want to know what you think of yourself. Tell me what you think of self. Sell. Who cares about the pressure? Give me all the pressure. Pressure. The pressure. Diamonds don't show up because it's pressure. Leave me on the way. Do you wanna be there? Do you wanna be there? Jake said, if you're thinking up, then you will go up. If you're thinking down, then you will go down. You're traveling direction.
So that was just a really good experience. You should join BSU because it's just a whole lot.
There's power in what you say. Mama said there's power in what you say. What are you saying? Wherever you're thinking. Manifest. Set your eyes, pick your prize, and you manifest. Fix your grind, fix your mind. Where your savage at? Your savage at? What do you think of yourself? Tell me what you think of self.
Hey man, if you don't want to join BSU after that, you're tripping. That was a popping video, man. I wish we had that when I was joining. But next for y'all, we have a very special treat. I want to introduce the poetic prose of Miss Mara Joan Derenor. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Julia, and I'm in 9th grade, and I'm doing the poem My Black is Beautiful. From the color of my skin to the texture of my hair, to the length of my strands, to the breadth of my smile. To the stride of my gait, to the span of my arms, to the depth of my blossom, to the curve of my hips, to the glow of my skin, my black is beautiful. It cannot be denied, it will not be contained, and only I will define it. For when I look in the mirror, my very soul cries out, my black is beautiful. And so today I speak it out loud, unabashedly I declare it anew, my black is beautiful. Whether celebrated, imitated, exploded, denigrated, whether natural from inside or skillfully applied, my black is beautiful. To my sisters, my nieces, my cousins, and my friends, I speak for us all when I say again, my black is beautiful. Thank you.
And thank you, Miss Jalea, for that beautiful poem. Uh, like you said, your black is beautiful, and that's why we need people like you to let us know. Thank you.
Hello, Night of Inspiration guests. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Faith, and I'm a sophomore at MA. And tonight I'm here to introduce some Black-owned businesses in the Bay Area and the importance of supporting them. I've been in contact with a bunch of businesses, and tonight you will hear from a few, so get ready for that later. But first, I just wanted to really stress the importance of supporting Black-owned businesses. By investing our time and money into these businesses and people, we are not only closing the racial wealth gap, but building up our local community. Currently, there are about 2.6 million Black-owned businesses in America, and 8 out of 10 fail within their first 18 months due to their lack of resources and funds. We need to change this statistic and build up our community. So if everyone could help by choosing to support Black-owned businesses around you, we can really make a difference. So we have some videos coming up. The first one is from the Mosaic Global Transportation, and the second one is from Fen Coffee. And after that, we'll have some more speakers talk about their business. So thank you.
We have more than just a destination in mind. When you trust us to mobilize your valued people in your organization or in your life, we take the importance of that job to heart. From the moment we first connect until you step out of our vehicles, safety and service are our top priorities. We are a family-owned business with an ever-growing community of dedicated employees and clientele. We operate and compete alongside the big names of our industry while preserving the principles and core values of a personalized, high-end boutique transportation service. Our humble beginnings have only strengthened our core values and have made us appreciate those who helped us get where we are today. We love and cherish our local community and take every opportunity to give back. The Bay Area is our home, and it's our privilege to help when and where we can. Mosaic Global Transportation is about so much more than just getting you where you need to go. Our passionate and professional chauffeurs drive the amazing experience that safely connects and mobilizes our clientele. We hope you will experience what we have to offer soon.
Hi, Menlo-Atherton, BSU. This is Matt Snell here from Fen Coffee. We are a small business located in Menlo Park. You can find our products in the market at Edgewood. In the Willows Market, we sell coffee whole beans, cold brew shots. So make sure you check us out next time you're in the Willows Market or the market at Edgewood.
Thank you for sharing those Black businesses with us. Those are actually like, those seem pretty cool. I might actually really check out that coffee business for real. And that's actually interesting. I didn't know that they were in like such local markets. Like I go to Edgewood all the time. So I mean, it's like right on the way. So next, what I'd like to present for you all is something that's actually someone that's actually pretty special to me. I've never met him in person or anything like that, but the spoken word poet Black Ice. I came across his art, I'd say about 5 or 6 years ago when I first began to write, and it really changed my life. I mean, up until that point, the only like real poetry I knew was like the kind of pretty basic kind of poetry, the stuff that everybody knows. But when I came across Black Ice, his art was so different from the poetry I heard before. It was like it was a mixture of rap aggression, but with the knowledge of like real poetry, and that was so interesting to me because it is like the flow and the cadence that he carried, it kept people so like mesmerized. So I remember actually the first poem I ever heard from him was called Real Ninjas. I can't say the real word, but in the poem he talks about, you know, like what it means to be a real man, you know. And when I watched that about like 5 years ago, it really changed my life, because up until that point, my ideas of like what a man was probably like what a lot of my friends thought, you know, real tough dude, you know, a lot of money, powerful, you know, people feared him. But what Black Ice showed me was that a real man is someone that's willing to show love to his neighbor and also stand up for what is right. So when I realized that that was what he was about, it was a huge inspiration for me to want to get into poetry and let people know like my perspective and how I see things from a poetic point of view. So I'm really appreciative of the spoken word poet Black Ice. For any of y'all that's not familiar with him, you can find his videos on YouTube, like Def Jam Poetry has like a bunch of his videos. Yeah. And just like, you know, different things like that if you're interested. But Black Ice really like is a really like life-changing poet. So for any of y'all that don't know, now you do. And I say all that to say that I like to present a piece for you all tonight that was inspired by this event. That was inspired by this event with the title of SEMA, so which means speak out. So without any further ado, I would like to present this piece to you all titled Speak Out. My brothers, my sisters, speak out. Let them folks know what you about. Every voice lifted up represents another route. God gave you a voice, God gave you a mouth. My brother, my sister, speak out. You see something that ain't right? Why don't you just call it out? You say you on board, you say you've been down for the fight. Well, first we must hear you speak out. Speak out at school, make fun of others how they look. Man, you don't even sound cool. Speak out at work, I don't care how much you worth. Talking down makes you a jerk. Speak out for peace, hollering at the police. Stop killing our people, capiche? Speak out for justice, this country never really loved us. We speak out to show them who run it. Speak out. Thank you, you all.
All right, give it up, give it up. Thank you so much, Jacob, for that wonderful piece that you created for us, because that is the thing, to speak out, to speak out about positive issues and also the issues that affect us on our daily lives. And so I think that's the perfect segue to our next speaker. She is her name is Shawnice Stevenson, and she is currently the school board trustee at Sequoia Union High School District. And so she knows a thing or two about speaking out, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how that's affected her and how that's helped her in her career. And so before we do that, let's see this video clip and see what she's offering us tonight.
My family and my children have had trials, triumphs, and celebration as it relates to their learning. The good things carry me, and the trials fuel my involvement. I use this term, it's called iron sharpens iron. It's when it's not possible to be sharpened by only one tool. You have to have the other. And so when I think of that, I think these experiences that I've had, trials, triumphs, and celebrations, they have all sharpened me to be better. In high school, I really wasn't the greatest student. I probably was a C student, and I was a quiet kid, and I had dealt with a lot of trials, tribulations, and celebrations throughout my education. And this was just one of those trials, which actually became my triumph. My high school guidance counselor looked at my grades and he said, "You're not college material." And I was devastated, just devastated. And of course, my parents did their thing. They came up, they rarely came, they were working parents, didn't have time to come up to the school, but that day they did. That's how important it was. And I cried and I cried and I cried. I filled out my application anyhow. And in those times, a guidance counselor had to sign off on it. And it was Mrs. Calhoun, the secretary. And I sat in front of her office and I cried. And I said, he won't sign it. And she says, give it here. I'll get it signed for you. After that moment, sometimes when you face trials and triumphs, sometimes they propel you to be better. And so I wanted to be better by coming back and taking his job because I felt like someone else needed to be in that role. Now, I look back at that counselor and I think if I had never had that experience, if you go back to iron sharpens iron, I would have never been propelled to really fight for what it is that I knew I wanted. It was clear. I was a little nervous about what I wanted, but after that experience, it clarified to me what I wanted, and that propelled me into college. And he was right. I wasn't prepared, and I survived anyway.
Give it up for that testimony. Absolutely wonderful. So I'm just going to pass it over to our lovely keynote speaker of the night, Miss Shawnice Stevenson.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy to be here. This is my home. This is where my kids go to school. I'm an MA bear. Even if I didn't want to, I got 3 of them, so I'm MA bear for a long time. So I'm excited to be here. And when Sharinda asked me to speak, she wanted me to talk a little bit about why words are powerful. So I'm going to go to my PowerPoint so you all can see it. Can y'all see it? Okay. So the power of our words are so important as we think about what it means to others, our words. So I just want to say, as I get older, I reflect on the power of words or oratory in the African-American community and culture. Words have the power to affect your heart and head, your ideas, your ideals, to disclose the truth and to change lives. And it's really powerful to know this because when you use your words, you have actually the power of choice. And so when I think of the power of choice, you have the opportunity to either give harsh words or gentle words, right? And you have a choice. When I think of Alana, and my youngest child who started the protest, is almost a year now, believe it or not, after George Floyd. It was asked, what did I do to support her as a parent? Unfortunately, she's not here to tell her own story because she's doing football today. She's breaking glass ceilings by being the manager for that and loves that. So I'm going to tell her story from my perspective, if that makes sense. So I'm the one in the story. So when I think of Alana, she sent me an email of all the nasty things that were being said at that time, of people who were just in deep pain about what was happening in the larger community, the national news, but it was impacting locally. So we were called thugs. We were said that we were dishonoring George Floyd. And this is not necessarily about the person who said it, but more so that this was resonating through our community. And when she texts me from her bedroom, words matter, right? I said, how are you? Versus get off the internet, get off Snapchat, whatever it is. And she said to me, I'm good. I said, it's hard to read these things. Yeah. And probably within the next day, she said, I want to start a protest. My response could have been anything, but I had a choice to give a gentle answer or a harsh word. Now, my family growing up would have said, girl, tear up that flyer. You ain't gonna have no march. New parenting says, all right, Come in here and talk to me. Let's talk about what it is that you want. So I had a choice to have a gentle answer or a harsh word. I could parent out of fear or parent out of courage. And so those words were important to her because she was able to kind of figure out for herself what it is that she wanted to do. And that makes me think of, when I think of Alana, she had gentle words. She was thinking, how can I heal? How can I give life? Instead of griping and bringing discouragement, right? So when I think of Alana, she had a choice to invite the police to come. And from my perspective, she said, come, right? My words are going to give you life and health. And when we think about health, we think of healing, right? And she invited the cops, the police to come to hear her words of healing, her words of life, her words of invitation to join us in healing. So her words, a person's words, can be life-giving or words of true wisdom, are like refreshing, bubbling brook. And that really is inviting him to be a part of the healing process. So she had a choice to give life or death in this process. And she chose life. What does a bubbling brook look like? It is the sound of music and water hitting the rocks, and it draws people to you. So she had a choice to push away or to bring people to her. And so when I think about her, she's my example, right? I'm a quiet person, believe it or not. I'm introverted, wouldn't believe it. And she has a mixture of introverted, but she's has a big power and big voice. So when I think of her, and I think of my own story, we all have a choice on how we respond to those words. It took those harsh words and promoted discouragement and argument, but she decided to pull it near her. And there's a choice, just like me, how I want to be, who I want to be, how I want to parent, how I want to lead, where I'm standing. And where I'm standing sometimes is leading my friends, my family, my children, wherever I'm standing could be at work, in college. I can choose to be better than how someone else has treated me. And that means I'm raising the standard because people don't deserve it, right? So I do it because it's service and because I know it's the right thing to do. It's simply a choice. Words have the power to affect the heart, the head, the ideas, to disclose truth and to change lives. So as I close, I want to say thank you for inviting me. It was a joy to be here. As I sit on the board, my words matter. How I show up matter. I can embarrass you or I can make you feel proud. And I'm choosing, I'm not going to always agree, but I'm going to choose to raise the bar and be better, choose better, think broader, so that I can represent not only you, but all the people I stand on their shoulders who had positive words for me. Whether it's my dad who's from the streets and he's using his language, said, baby, you got this. Or whether it's my grandmother who survived so many hardships, she's like, you got this. Or my Uncle Al, who could barely read, but he gave me a book that said the miseducation of Black folks, because he knew enough that I needed to know that I needed to be educated in the streets as well as in the book smarts as well. Or whether it is standing on the shoulder of many of the teachers of color who have supported my child and the allies. And most important, I stand on the shoulders of my Lord and Savior, right? That's what I do. And so it's important to know your words matter, but who your words represent and whose shoulders you're standing on. So I want to take this time to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Your words are powerful. Thank you.
I hope you got that message that your words are powerful, because they are. So I just want you to give it up wherever you are. I just want you to give it up for Shawnice Stevenson for that wonderful, wonderful speech, because I believe deep in my spirit that words do matter, and I know they do, and they manifest in my day. Every day, every word I speak, it happens. So I'm just claiming that for everyone else. But again, thank you so much, Shawnice Stevenson, for those encouraging words. And on the theme of words, we're going to have a really very, very special performance for Sharinda Bryant, from Sharinda Bryant and Jason Lamb. And the message in it is going to be one that's encouraging, one that I hope that you leave this event with, that it just encourages you and makes your day. So I'm super, super excited. So get your popcorn, get your snacks, and let's get this show on the world, because I am excited for what's about to go down.
Listen, listen, when the storm in your heart is raging. Listen, listen, listen. Listen, listen to the echoes of the water praying. Listen, listen, listen. Oh, listen, brothers and sisters. Listen, listen, listen. I swear we'll never find a way to where we're going. All alone, don't take your eyes off the road. Can you hear the bells ring out? Speak now, speak now. Can you hear the angels cry out? Speak now, speak now. Listen, listen to the message of hope and the whispers of ghosts. Listen, listen, yeah. Listen, for the children will grow the seeds that we sow. They listen, they listen. Listen, brothers and sisters, listen. I swear we'll never find a way to where we're going. All alone, don't take your eyes off the road. Can you hear the bells ring out? Speak now, speak now. Can you hear the angels cry out? Speak now, speak now. Speak with authority. Speak now, speak now. Can you hear the angels? I can hear the angels. Speak now.
I am greatness. I am creative. I am intelligent. I am a king amongst kings. Like my ancestors, I am resilient. I am beautiful. I will achieve what I set out to achieve. I will speak what I will be. I speak now, now I speak life.
Mic drop. Mic drop. I am lost for words. First of all, the speaking, the reoccurrence of the phrase "speak now." Speak now. What does that mean? Speak now. And I can't even describe it. The feeling. I literally have chills on my body because I'm so touched. From that performance and all of the students and all of their work and the art. And I want to leave you with a little bit of a message that art is a way that we can speak. Art is a way that you can use your voice. Maybe you're like Shawnee Stevenson said, maybe you're introverted and you don't know how to speak verbally, but you can speak artistically. You can speak musically. You can speak lyrically, and that was done. That was executed. So thank you so much for that, Sharinda and Jason. That was a wonderful performance. And so just segueing that idea of speaking out and speaking now, right? And using art as a platform to do that. The Menlo-Atherton BSU partnered with Facebook on a very, very important campaign. Now, if you follow us on social media today, you would know that you've seen our post, you've seen our Instagram story, so you know exactly what I'm about to say. But if you aren't, please follow. I see the MA Black Student Union is in the chat. I want all of you to follow our Instagram, all 92 of you. But this project was so important, and I want to tell you why. The first thing, the MA article was released last year, and in this MA article, it was about basically the history of MA and how MA wasn't this beautiful thing that you see. There was racism, there were race riots, and we actually have a staff member who still works at MA, Pamela Wimberly, who experienced the race riots, and she knows firsthand what kind of went on. And so seeing this, the article was released last year, and so students, they took pictures when it was released and passed out. They took pictures of this, and they took pictures of a certain poster, and I'll show you this poster in just a second. But they took pictures of this poster, and students were just running around. There were students who were like all hyped up because they loved the controversy. The spirit of controversy was just around the school, and people were just super psyched up about it. And then there were those people who were trying to get other people angry. And I remember that experience. I remember coming from physical education and a student showing me on his phone a screenshot of the poster and saying, "Aren't you mad? Aren't you mad? Aren't you mad?" without any context of what happened. I would not know. If I looked at that poster without any context, I would believe that MA wrote that day. But that wasn't that case. The poster was written in 1969. And if I didn't have that context, I would have been angry and I would have done something I would have regretted that day because I didn't have context. So in response to that controversial kind of move, and in response to all of those students who created that controversy and that division in the school, we wanted to address that as a BSU. We no longer stand for that. I don't feel like Menlo-Atherton stands for that anymore. Our motto is strength in diversity. We believe in inclusion. We believe in equity. So the Menlo-Atherton BSU felt like it was necessary to create a project that would address that. And the title of this project is the Anti-N-Word Campaign. On the propaganda that was written by students in 1969, there was the usage of the N-word. Now, this has been discussed. Who can say it? Who can't say it? I'm tired of having that discussion. That word carries so much power. And the power that it carries is a power of division. It's a power of splitting people up, right? It's a power of anger. It's just the root of it, the background of it. When you look at the context of the background of the N word, you will understand that that word is not a good word and it shouldn't be used. So we took it among ourselves to create a campaign centered around first getting rid of the usage of the N word in Menlo-Atherton, and we were inspired by also the Sequoia High School because they already have a movement there, and so we decided that in response to that controversial day, that we wanted to stand in solidarity with Sequoia and other schools around the nation who are doing the same thing. So if we can just get, I see some chats. So before we transition to the next slide, I want to warn everyone, this was the propaganda that was posted. Again, this was written in 1969. So the students' mindsets were completely different. But I do want to go to the next slide. So I'm going to give us just a little bit of time to look at this poster and to think, critically think. What do you think the intention was behind this? What do you think? Each word meant something, right? The way that it was written, the way that it was formed, it meant something. So I just want everyone to critically think for a little bit, and then I will move forward. But just your first reactions, your first ideas looking at this, what do you think? I want you to question yourself or prompt a question to yourself. What do you think these students, what kind of mindset were they in when creating something like this? And then we'll move forward. So I hope that I gave you enough time and I'm not being too eager because this is a topic I'm very passionate about. But I see fear, 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 fear. What fear and anxiety does to us. It makes us act out of place, right? Because we have no grasp of our emotions at that time. We're allowing the emotion of fear and anxiety, something that is negative, to control our mind, our hearts, and our ideas and our ideals. And that is what you're seeing here. Based on the wording, I looked over this and the first thing I felt was anger. I felt anger. Why? Why create something like this? Why create propaganda like this? Because that's what it is. Why create something like this? And then I had to ask myself, I'm like, what, what could be besides, internal issues and things of that time? I'm like, what else could it be? And that idea of fear came up. Fear. They were afraid of other people, of other humans that didn't look like them. And that's unfortunate. And I feel that, looking at this, students looking at this, now it's so, you seeing something like that is very shocking, but around that time, it wasn't. It was accepted. A lot of students agreed with this mindset. But now in 2021, I want to say that we denounce fear. We denounce all of the isolatory behavior. We denounce all of these issues that control our societies, our world, our communities, and our towns. We denounce that. We don't want to operate in fear anymore. We want to operate in expansion. We want to operate in inclusion. We want to operate in equity. Not equality means that everybody's getting the same exact thing, but there's still some gaps there. We want to operate in in equity, where everybody is getting exactly what they need to be their best selves. So, in response to this fear, we decided that this would be a 2021 update to this poster. And we can transition. So as you can see on the left side, this is the article from MA Journalism that they wrote, which was an absolutely wonderful article. It was a wonderful article. It told the story and the history of race riots, and it told the story of just people who were who were in fear. And so the Menlo-Atherton Black Student Union took it amongst ourselves that we wanted to update this. Since we're not operating in fear anymore, since we're not operating in scarcity, or we're not isolating or isolatory behavior, we wanted to update it. So as you can see, I'll read it. It says, MA students, unite. Don't let MA be under the control of division. Join with others who are empowered. If people start false narratives, they will be met with truth. And that is what we're operating in. We're operating in truth. We're operating in empowerment. And we're changing the narrative that has been perpetuated for years and years and years about Black people, about other people of color, and about basically every human being. So we are no longer operating, since we're no longer operating in this, this is what we're decreeing, and this is what we're declaring today. And so so this was our first response to that propaganda that was written by students in 1969. And so then we had to take it a step further because we wanted to make sure that everybody was included into this. So when we partnered with Facebook, for the past 4 months, students have been working extremely hard on illustrations about, first of all, basically getting rid of the N-word, and then second of all, about being inclusive and including everybody, and that we are actually operating in equity. And so if we can transition to the next slide, I wanted to give the feeling of anticipation. I can't see all of you, but I hope that you're kind of on the edge of your seats because we worked extremely, extremely hard. And if you, again, if you follow us on Instagram, you have already seen this post, but if you haven't, I hope that you will enjoy this reveal. So I'm just going to give us a quick little drum roll. I don't know if anybody could hear that. All right, and show our art. So this art right here was created by myself. And as you can see, I'll read it. It says, "Why are you sensitive? It's just a word. Do they get the pass? It was in a song. We grew up with it. Take a joke. My friends let me say it. We've reclaimed the word. It's a term of endearment. I don't care who says it. That's what I call my friends." And so, as you can see, it says division is preserved through our words, which is true. Division is preserved through our words. And so we wanted to, the intention behind this campaign is we wanted to create accountability. We wanted to create a movement that allows everyone, not just a certain group of people, not just Black people, not just Hispanic people, everyone to take accountability in their role in this fight of social justice and social equity. So this is what this poster means. But we have a lot more posters from students who've done a lot of work. We have a series. So again, if you can, get out your phone right now. Follow us on Instagram at Black Student Union, where you will see the rollout of this poster campaign. And this is just digitally. When school gets back in session, we are looking forward to releasing physical copies and plastering them around the campus so that everybody can get the idea that we all take accountability for our role in our society, in our schools, in our jobs, that we are fighting for equity. We're no longer fighting in desperation and scarcity and fear. We're no longer fighting that anymore. So I just hope that you will join us in our fight. You will stand in solidarity with us to do so. We need your support. We can't do it without you. You, all of you watching, I don't know where you're coming from. You might be in New York. I don't know where you are, but I know this, that you're a human, that I'm a human. We both are. And I'm coming to you human to human. Where we are in the world, we have to work together. We have to coexist. And we have to acknowledge our differences. And that is okay. That is okay to acknowledge our differences and to celebrate each other's culture. This is what we were made for. So I hope that you will stand in solidarity with us in our fight to do so, because we need you. So I just want to say thank you so much to all of the students who worked tirelessly on this project and all of the advisors who helped us do so. So again, thank you. And I'm going to be passing it on to a very, very special guest. We have some amazing things again coming up. I'm going to be passing it on to Mark Gaskins, he's the co-founder of Scholar Prep Nation. And he can tell you a little bit about what Scholar Prep Nation is and why it's so important to have that platform. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh my, let me just, man, first I'm clapping. If everybody please just put something in the chat. I mean, I'm full right now, and I really needed to be a part of something like this. That y'all just made my entire couple of weeks. Just COVID has been rough. Things have been happening, and then just to be in this space, the energy that y'all have brought is just so powerful. I'm almost, and this is a shock. Tell my wife, I'm almost nervous and lost for words because of just the power that is in this space. So I just want to salute you all and just say, man, I love y'all. This is beautiful. I mean, you have a board member, a school board member who got on, who gets it. That doesn't happen all the time. And then you got Jason and Sharinda singing. I might have to audition with y'all. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm so excited. And then Jakeem coming in here declaring and decreeing. So I'm just I had to take a moment because that was beyond amazing, and I'm moved and motivated by you all. So I'm not going to try to take up too much of your time. Let me just confirm if you can verbally just share for me. Can you see the screen? Because I can't see y'all now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to share with you about Scholar Prep Nation. Again, my name is Brother Mark Gaskins, and just a little bit about me, the inspiration behind founding the Scholar Prep Nation with my wife. Also, we're the founders of the Village Method, which works more so in elementary and middle school. The spirit behind that was that every child, they say, it takes a village to raise a child, right? And if it takes a village to raise a child, the question comes up, what happens if that child doesn't know what village they come from? What happens if the parents don't know what village to connect to in supporting the child? And so I was one of those children that grew up in church. I'm a PK and had so many people all around me. But when it came to my academic journey, I didn't have anybody to support me and guide me along the way to get me from ninth grade into graduating and then going into a four-year college. So I'm one of those scholars that graduated and was not eligible to apply to a four-year college. And I don't want to see any of the scholars of MA, BSU, or MA High have to go through that. And so behind Scholar Prep Nation, the whole spirit is bringing you then courses, coaching, and community. I have a little video to show you, and we'll come right back. I'm hoping, actually, let me stop to share it and go back. I think I need to share the video as well with this sound. Bear with me. There it is. Share sound. Boom. Okay. Let me see if this plays right.
The sound isn't on.
And so that's the kind of energy that we want to bring to our scholars, and that we want to make sure that they stay engaged and they know what's happening in the space. So just some quick information for you, that those of you who don't know, that 9 times out of 10 when you talk to a scholar, they know that going to college is important. They know that it is a part of that journey. They want to be a part of going to a 4-year college. The challenge that we know when it comes to data is that less than a third of Black students specifically are eligible to even apply to that 4-year college because they haven't completed their college readiness courses. So then beyond that, we also know that the majority of students are really trying to solve big problems on their own. They're trying to figure out how do they pay for college. They're trying to figure out what classes they should take. What's the difference between an ACT and an SAT? And then, we were kind of looking at the news over the last year or so, and we found out that we had some rich parents who were cheating to get their children into the colleges that we want to get our kids into. And so they're cheating, and it's supposed to be easier for the wealthy to get in. So it really doesn't matter. Everyone is struggling to try to get into the college of their dreams. And I'm going to share this link just for the sake of time so you can see. The summary of that whole video is that a lot of parents are really concerned with, how do I support my scholar? How do I support my child in their academic journey? What do we do? Well, that's where Scholar Prep Nation comes into play, and we are directly in partnership with the M-AHS and doing this work. And I just want to thank you all for engaging us and being able to live out our mission out loud and be a part of this journey and a part of this amazing student body. And so with Scholar Prep Nation, what we do is we provide a competitive edge. A lot of those things that don't get covered at a basic level, we cover all of that information in our online courses. The online courses include everything from getting you organized and getting you prepared at 9th grade and 10th grade, so that by the time you get to the 11th and 12th grade year, all those documents that you need, you just pull out your file and they're ready to go. We have so many organizations that reach out to us and they're saying, hey, do you have anybody who can apply for these scholarships? Do you have somebody that you can just pass this along to? Everybody from the 100 Black men of the Silicon Valley and Bay Area and Oakland, all the way to churches and other organizations are looking for the scholars just to give them money. But then when the time passes, they still are sitting on tens of thousands of dollars that they can't give away. Why is that? Well, we want to get down to the bottom of that and do everything we can to make sure the members of Scholar Prep Nation get that money. In the video, you saw one of the brothers said he won over $1.3 million in scholarships. The reason, or the way that he was able to do that, was through preparation and applying. We have built a community, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. But in this community, it's your own, it's outside of Facebook, outside of social media. It's focused on scholarship. It's focused just for you and your community to join in and be a part of that. And then, of course, coaches. This is the big part, because we wanted to create a space that included college recruiters, that also included a space where not just college recruiters, but also academic coaches would be able to come in and provide insight, information, and support scholars, from everything on essay creations to what class should I take in order to get into that special school that they want to go to. Of course, we have HBCUs that are representing heavy in the community, and we do quarterly summits that provide more information about how to get into HBCUs, scholarship or scholar prep. Scholar athletes, and how scholar athletes' paths may be a little bit different, but there's still so many opportunities for scholar athletes. So, really, in a nutshell, the benefit is, especially for school districts, is there are so many scholars that do fall in between the cracks for whatever reason. And we have COVID-19 happening, and I don't know what your data looks like, but a lot of schools, a lot of counselors are reaching out and saying that they're unable to connect with their scholars like they were before. So we help with that, and we help to bridge that gap so it doesn't become a problem. So if you're someone who's looking for that community, or you're looking to get some insight and some information, reach out, let us know, because we've created the space. It's right here for you. So actually, you'll have to get in contact with Miss Bryant to find out how to get in and how to become a part of this community. But we've been making phone calls, doing the outreach, because the cost for I believe up to a certain number has been covered for you all. So now it's really just a matter of plugging in, getting into the community, getting active, and letting us help you and introduce you to the community that we have available for you. So I know I crammed in a lot of information in that time, but I just wanted to make sure you knew that Scholar Prep Nation is here for you, and it was something that Miss Bryant reached out to us and allowed us to bring this work to you. She brought the support and invested so that the scholars would have access to it. So if you would please also, give her a high five, pat her on the back. Of course, social distance, so give her the distance high five, but let her know that this is a big deal. And when I was in school, I didn't have a lot of access to folks who did this kind of thing. But you all have, I'm talking directly to the scholars, you've got it made. You have, we're seeing adults come on here who are active, engaged, who are involved, and who are willing to be vulnerable, share their talent as well. And so, the sky is the limit. I'm excited for y'all, and I am truly humbled and excited to be also a part of your journey. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Mark. We appreciate you and all the Scholar Prep supporters in supporting our scholars, and we're looking forward to building with you. I want to just, first of all, I am so proud. Some of you have texted me that you could just see me over here beaming, like you don't know the half of it. I'm just so proud. I want to briefly, before I start crying, talk about scholarship opportunities. Please recognize that we have built 3 opportunities for our African-American seniors, graduating seniors, to walk away from Menlo-Atherton with some money for college. We started 2, Gertrude Wilkes, the Legacy Award, named after one of our beautiful activists that have passed away in East Palo Alto. And then Roscoe Jennings Service Award. Those of us who've been at MA for a few years, we remember Roscoe, always present, always with a smile on her face, always with community service in his heart. And so we wanted to name that award. And so I'd like to introduce the newest one, which is the Ubuntu Scholarship. And this comes about because a community member, an MA alumni, shout out to Rob Jensen, contacted me and said, I want to do more. And I just felt that was such a beautiful gesture, just to admit that and to seek out who can make the thing happen. And he's been working behind the scenes, making this thing happen for our African-American seniors. And I am just so happy to be a part of it, to make that the scholarship come to fruition. So contact me, seniors, or if you know a senior, or you have a senior coming up, contact me. We will start putting out these applications about March 1st. And so you can apply and for one of these scholarships. And we cannot have scholarships without the generous donations of our community. And so I will put this in the chat. We do have a donation document that you can access to let you know how certain things are funded with the organization. And if you have a QR, what is it called, Jakim? QR code.
Yep, QR code.
If you have it, and hopefully it will work. If not, these same links are available in the donations document, and you can be part of our village of supporting our excellent scholars at Menlo-Atherton. So I'll leave this up just for a bit if you have your phone and you're trying to access that. Otherwise, see the chat for that donation document. We really do appreciate our support of our community funders. Donations come from all kinds of people everywhere, from small to large, doesn't matter, because you all are important. and part of our village, and we appreciate you very much. All right. I think we have a commercial coming up. And then our co-advisor, Mr. Eric Adams, will be on the screen after our commercial.
Good boy.
This is one of the best things that could ever happen to us.
Yeah.
It's never the dog's fault. It's always human error.
If Josh can help me get these babies at home, my life will change.
Changing that dog's life, changing that human's life, and creating harmony. This is my life's work.
Good boy.
So hello, everybody. Before I say a few words, I do just want to acknowledge a couple things. First of all, thank you so much to everybody who has contributed to this amazing event. This event has been incredible. And for all the people who have been involved and contributed in any manner, thank you so much. And for all of you who are here as participants, audience members, thank you very much for coming, spending your evening here for this incredible event. So I'm just going to say a few words regarding allyship and being an ally, and a couple things that are important to me and how I try to live my life. And then I'm going to pass it off to someone else to say a few words. And then this is this little segment here. So first, I want to say that I firmly believe it is so important to recognize that every person is a fellow human being. Every person is a fellow human being, and people cannot control how they're born. And it's always been absurd and disgusting to me that some people are treated worse based on things that are out of their control. And that's just a fundamental thing that I can't really get past. I can't quite comprehend it. I have a couple of quotes that I want to share that I think are really important. So first, the quote is, "What you ignore, you allow, and what you allow, you encourage." So that came from a referee training. I'm a basketball referee, but it's applicable and universal to everything and everybody. And then another quote is, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And some of you may know, but that is from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so I'll conclude my little piece here by just saying it's easy to not get involved with things when you're not directly impacted. When you're not directly affected, it's really easy to not get involved. And, you know, usually whatever is easy doesn't necessarily align with what's right or what's courageous or what's impactful. And so, you know, just a few things that are important to me and that I'd like to share. And a student of mine, actually, Jack Anderson, also is here and is happy to share a few words on this same, you know, idea of allyship. And so, Jack, thank you so much for being here, and you're up.
Hi, my name is Jack Anderson, and to me, being an ally is a continual act which requires for us allies to educate ourselves on ways to help out. I think it's important for groups that are not facing injustice to lend our support towards the battle versus dehumanization towards the Black community.
Thank you so much for that. We cannot do it alone. And so we appreciate you, Mr. Adams and Jack, and all of our other allies. Actually, Black Student Union is quite diverse. And so I appreciate all of you who are stepping outside of their comfort zone and reaching across the table and speaking up and out. I'm gonna turn it back to, let's see, we have a performance actually from some allies coming up next. For some alumni, actually. Let's see. Nope, I was wrong. We have this little poem from Akila Major. And she is representing Sequoia's BSU. So let's take a listen.
Black Lives Matter. People think Black people do everything wrong and white people can do no wrong. People say all lives matter, but all lives can't matter until Black lives do. Police are supposed to protect us. That badge does not give you the right to hurt us in any type of way. White people can come to the Capitol with guns and yell at police for a haircut, yet when Black people protest about the racism that goes on in life and in the everyday world, they get shot with tear gas and rubber bullets. George Floyd was murdered because he was trying to buy groceries for his family. Black people go through racism every day because we're different. Our own president looks down on us and thinks we're thugs and murderers. When people talk about why do you always have to bring race into it, y'all never liked this from the beginning because we're a different race. You guys always thought y'all were better than us because y'all had all this money and wealth. But think about Trayvon Martin, who was walking home from the store and was racially profiled because he had a hoodie on. Think about Breonna Taylor, who was shot in her own house from a police officer. Think about Tamir Rice, who was shot by a police officer for playing with a toy gun. Think about Alton Sterling, who was shot by a police officer for selling CDs. Think about Sean Taylor, who was shot on Facebook Live 7 times by a police officer. Think about Ahmaud Arbery, who was shot by white people when he was jogging. Think about Elijah McClain, who was injected and killed by the first responders. None of these people got justice for what happened to them. Think about all the lives taken by people who's supposed to protect us and be there when we need them. Innocent lives taken by people who swore to be there for us. Black lives still matter in 2021 and every year yet to come. Stay woke.
Hello, my name is Janae of Worcester, BSU alumni.
And I'm Brianna, also BSU alumni.
And we just wanted to remind you guys to stay inspired and to stay creative.
And you can still fly.
They said the sun be shining right where I'm at, but they didn't know what I did to get it back. I could take you to a place where the light didn't gleam and the stress of this life kept me together like a seam. But if I could take a minute just to reflect, all that drama and gossip were covered out my back. They say how I did this and how I did that. But if they told you the truth, then they'd be scared that I'd come back. And when I found out, some clouds began to form. I could bear the weather, but the pain was in the storm. I hope they still remember me when I'm dead and gone. Before they take me out, I'ma keep the pressure on. And when the clock ticks down to its time, I ain't say I'm perfect, but perfection don't lie. And when it comes to you, that's when I start to realize, even with the broken wings, I can still fly.
I can still fly, I can still fly. I can fly, I can fly.
Daddy called me on the phone, that's how I've been. But he wouldn't know, cause he ain't never clocking in. Never been to a show or sent me a present just to say I love you when I'm sorry I ain't present. But it's fine, I learned how to heal. How the boys that's gonna to manipulate my heart made out of steel. I had to be strong just to feel protected. After all this time, I'm the one who's been neglected. But it's all good, my pop showed me how. Sporting me around like I was his pal. Took me to the park so that I could run around and financially supporting me since you ain't been around. But I ain't holding grudges, though the past is in the past. Just cause you skipped out don't mean you get a pass. And I ain't never missed a meal, and I ain't never missed a bill. Sometimes it's even saved off for you a better deal. And I ain't never been alone, and I ain't never needed you. You the one who skipped out to save yourself a better view. That's a weight off my chest, a bullet in my vest. The amount I paid from you that I needed to express. After all this though, I can't even blame, I'm highly blessed. Take me to court, these are facts I can't attest. Made me realize how much I had to go through just to be the greatness God inspired us to do.
I can still fly, I can still fly. I can fly, I can fly. I can still fly, I can still fly.
You can still fly.
I can fly, I can fly. I can still fly, I can still fly. I can fly, I can fly.
So high, so high, so high. still fly. So
Hey man, y'all, I want to give a huge shout out to Bree the rapper for real, for real. As a matter of fact, she's a fellow student. Well, she was an alumni with me and a very good friend of mine. So big shout out to Bree the rapper, and like her art is very amazing, y'all. So please go check her out and give her a listen because she has a real message and she has something like very important to say, y'all. So without any further ado, please enjoy this next video.
Doing it flawlessly. Well, you've come to learn that all that I have learned, one thing remains: being true to yourself is the key. Knowing your roots and where you come from is also key.
Young black women, you are more than your thighs and your hips. You are beautiful, strong, powerful. I want more from you. Take your place. Young black men, take your place. We need you. Your sons and daughters need you. Understand what I just said? You were sold off and had no choice. Yes, but now it's time to stay. Take your place. Now, starting now, starting now.
All right, so at this point, everyone, I really just wanted to give a huge thank you to everybody who stayed in the program up until this point. It's been a really amazing event. Like I really have not too many words, but thank you for everyone who's added to this event prior to now, for all the speakers, for everyone who contributed to this event. Just thank you for adding to this, and we have a huge, huge blessing. It was a huge blessing for me and for all who were involved. So I don't want you all to leave yet. Please stay tuned because right after this, we have some Black trivia questions in the after party, y'all. So please stay tuned for that, and you could win some prizes. That's what I heard. So I mean, I would stick around for that for real. So thank you everybody who's been here, and stay tuned for that after party. Thank you and have a good night.
I'll celebrate my freedom. I'm gonna speak up. Speak from my heart, baby. Speak from my soul, sugar. Say what you want, lady. Act like you know who you are. Speak from your gut, honey. Say what you want, my love. Be who you wanna be. Speak, 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 free, free. I'm moving on, I'm putting on my favorite dress. The one you hated, till I look naked. Be free, my love. Be free.
Hi everyone, welcome to the after party. I'm Ella Bowen Farrell, and I'm a sophomore at M-A in BSU as a ally, and I'm really excited to share this Kahoot with you. It's just on some Black history that you might not know about, and it's very exciting. So if you don't know how to use Kahoot, you just join with the code on the top at kahoot.it.com or the Kahoot app, and I'll start it once everyone gets logged in. All right, I'll take about a minute or two to wait for everyone to get logged in, but just enter the code and you should be good. You can hear the music now? Is that good? Got it. All right, should we get started? All right. All right, that was a tough one. So although Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat in 1955 and was named the First Lady of Civil Rights, just 9 months earlier, a 15-year-old girl named Claudette Colvin refused to give up her seat to a white woman on a segregated bus and was even arrested. This is the scoreboard. Good job, guys. All right. Nice. This one was hard. Only 3 people got it right. So George Edwin ran for president in 1904, and he was actually an American journalist, activist, and politician, and he was the candidate of the National Negro Liberty Party. Nice. So obviously we know that this was Maya Angelou, and this book explored her early years spent in St. Louis and Stamps, Arkansas. Wow. So the Freedom Riders, from our context, the Freedom Riders were civil rights activists who rode interstate buses into the segregated southern United States in 1961 and subsequent years to challenge the non-enforcement of the United States Supreme Court decisions against segregated buses. These busloads of Freedom Riders went from town to town testing local compliance with federal orders to desegregate interstate bus terminals. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Oh, we have lots of changes. All right. Good job, guys. All right, so the answer was Ralph Bunche. And in 1950, the Nobel Committee awarded the Nobel Peace Prize to the first African-American United National official, Ralph Bunche. He received the Peace Prize for his efforts as a mediator between Arabs and Jews in the Israeli-Arab War in 1948. All right, so not too many of you put this answer. So as we know, Tupac craved poetic justice. However, it might come as a shock that he also studied ballet, though he auditioned as a theater major after moving to Baltimore in 1985. All right, 4 more questions to go. 3. Good job. So one of these Grammys went to an album called The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill and was considered by some people as one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. All right. Barry Bonds was a left fielder who played 22 seasons in the MLB with the Pittsburgh Pirates and the San Francisco Giants. He also received a record of 7 MVP awards, 8 Gold Glove awards, 12 Silver Slugger awards, and 14 All-Star selections. All right, so the answer is Phyllis Wheatley, and she was actually kidnapped from West Africa and enslaved in Boston. But soon after, she became the first African-American and one of the first women to publish a book of poetry in the colonies in 1773. The poem that brought her this glory was titled An Elegiac Poem on the Death of the Celebrated Divine George Whitefield. And the next question counts for 2 times the amount of points, so you want to get this one right. So the answer was future. And just in case you're wondering, Lil Uzi Vert's real name is Samir Beazle Woods. Young Thug's name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, and Travis Scott's real name is Jaquez Berman Wester II. It's interesting how their rap names are a lot more catchy. Let's see the winners. All right, third place, Jack Anderson. Second place, I don't know who that is. And first place, Mr. H. Congratulations, guys. The winners will be receiving BSU merch, so be excited for that. Yeah. Thank you so much for playing.
All right, winners, contact me so we can get your information. That was so great, Ella. We learned some new things. And I learned some other things that
Bro,
we
I'm so embarrassed. Like, I really like want to hide my face from every Black person I know.
Oh, thank you, Miss Stevenson. Thank you all so much. This was great. I hope you all had a great time. And Jakim, you want to close us out?
I just want to say, make sure my mic is. Sorry. But I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being here. We need your support, and we hope that we can still provide services and that we can do everything in our power to ensure that we are all connected. Because at the end of the day, we are all humans, and we thank you. And I'm super grateful and thankful to have you all here. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night. Have a great Friday and the great rest of your week. In that next week, in the next week, and have a great year and have a great life. All right. Thank you, everyone. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. That was great.
Great job.
You guys were amazing.
Thank you, Sean.
Good job. I'm like
Good to see you.